So if you're anything like me, you're probably a voracious consumer of all content when it comes to writing and self-publishing. I'm forever a student, and I'm just amazed at the amount of information that we can find right here on YouTube to really level up our game in self-publishing and writing. So I thought I would go back to the well for the third year in a row where I'm going to show you the top 10 best YouTube channels devoted to writing and self-publishing. Make sure that you stay tuned to today's video. This is Self-Publishing with Dale, and if you'd like to learn more about publishing books that sell and building an unstoppable author brand, make sure that you subscribe and turn that bell notification on so you don't miss a single video. This video is sponsored by Findaway Vocies, the audiobook distributors reaching over 30 different audiobook platforms. This includes Audible, Apple, Google, and more. For those of you who are on a tight budget, consider their latest feature in the Voices Share program. Produce your audiobook for half the price in exchange for sharing 20% of your royalties with the narrator. When starting a new project, you'll see the Voices Share option and application form. Review narrators, see cost estimates, and get auditions for your project at no extra cost. Sign up today at findawayvoices.com/Dale. So I often ask and poll my communities about who their favorite content creators here on YouTube when it comes to writing and self-publishing. Inevitably, I get a lot of people that say, well, of course you are. But honestly, I'm asking that not looking for praise, but looking for more people that are putting out more content about writing and self-publishing, because I am forever a student. I'm always wanting to learn more and better and just really get good at this craft of self-publishing and writing. This makes the third year in a row that I've put together a top 10 list of YouTube channels devoted to writing and self-publishing. So I thought I would go back to the well, but this time I've got a little bit of a criteria, because in years past, I kind of chose channels that I just casually would watch. And inevitably, it led to some kind of disagreements between myself and some of those content creators. So rather than sending you over to a channel that I kind of know, I thought I would send you to channels that you would definitely know. And here's the criteria that I have. They have a long-standing relationship with the author community. They focus on best practices with zero shortcuts. They're in it for the long haul, and it's apparent by the content they put out. And quite frankly, you can just sense that they're good people that have great intentions for everybody involved. I'll have all the links to each one of these channels in the description down below. Please do us all a favor. Visit those channels, hit the subscribe, turn the bell notifications on, and really treat those resources the same way that you would this channel. Number 10, Lulu Press. Hosted by Chelsea Bennett. She's the PR manager for Lulu.com. This is actually a pretty interesting channel in that you would think they're going to be pitching their products, or that they're going to be forcing you to kind of come over to Lulu to publish your books, but that's actually not true. It's furthest from the truth. In fact, Lulu University, as they call it, the videos where they show you how to write and self-publish, really gets some very sensible and practical advice, and I find Chelsea a lot of fun. Every one of her videos, she's warm, she's welcoming, and she's giving great advice. Number 9, Keith Wheeler Books. Okay, I'm gonna say that I'm a little biased because I did coach Keith Wheeler about a couple years ago, and so I am super proud of this guy and all that he's accomplished and given to the indie author community. And I'll admit that I'm very close friends with Keith, so he did make it on this list, maybe because of our friendship, but honestly, you can see by all the content that he puts in to his channel that he is in this for the long haul, and he's just such a straight shooter and honest guy, and he gets straight to the point. You're gonna really love Keith, and I've got to watch him grow over the last year and have really come to embrace and love the content that Keith puts out, and you will definitely agree with me. I bet you will. Number 8, Self-Publishing School. This one's hosted by Chandler Bolt. He's the head instructor for Self-Publishing School. It's an online course for self-publishing, and he's actually been in the space for quite a while now. In fact, Chandler was kind of one of my heroes when I first broke into the business in 2013 to 2014. He made everything just super simple. But don't be fooled by me saying that it's simple, because he really, honestly, you go and watch some of his videos. They're very high quality, they're very polished, and I've just noticed that he's been ramping up a lot more production over on his YouTube channel. So do yourself a favor, take a look at Chandler's videos. They're really good. Number 7, book launches. Julie Broad hosts this, and she is another one that gives practical advice and just sensible tips when it comes to self-publishing and writing your books. I love her bubbly enthusiasm, and the green screen that she does is really, it's a lot of fun. She actually clips out the very background, and there's a lot of just jump cuts and a lot of fun, and she gets this whole process so it doesn't seem so bland and so dry, because it's not like it's the most exciting thing in the world, but she makes it that much more exciting. And the funny thing is, Julie's actually been around this space right around about 2011. And so if you watch any of her older videos, it's not quite as polished as they are today, but you're still gonna get the same great advice from Julie. So big kudos on book launchers. Love the channel. Number 6, Alliance of Independent Authors. Now, I've featured this one before in previous lists, and actually it was just called Orna Ross, who actually is the host of the Alliance of Independent Authors on YouTube. Now, don't expect anything super polished or any kind of glamour or anything else like that. She is straight and to the point. She shares something in common with my wife, Kelly, that she just gets on and she shoots the video and she gives you what you're coming for. And she actually has had a veritable who's who of very big guests in the indie author community. I really can't stress enough what you're going to learn from Orna Ross and Ally. This is one of the best things you can do in subscribing to this channel. Number 5, the Creative Penn. Okay, I'm going to say that probably the next 5 people I'm going to be gushing over like a big fanboy, and Joanna Penn is no exception. She's a fairly prolific author and also a speaker. She has been around this space for quite a while, and she's an inspiration to a lot of indie authors. I've read a number of her nonfiction books. They're so much fun. They're so easy to digest, and if you're finding that you're struggling within this business and the YouTube videos aren't cutting it, I highly recommend that you take a look at her series, and there's another one I'm going to mention here in one of the other channels. Number 4, Chris Fox. Chris is another one. He's very much similar to Joanna Penn, that he's a prolific author in nonfiction as well as fiction. He actually has a series called the Write Faster, Write Smarter series. I burned through the entire series. It is very good. You can go back and read each one of them and still learn something new in the process. And if you're not much into, say, reading the content, you can actually watch the content, because he actually rehashes some of the things that he discusses in his books and even expands on it. Chris is another one that he just gets on that video, he shoots it quick and dirty, it's really to the point, and he has just the following to back it up. It's really incredible. Highly recommend. Take a look at Chris's channel as well as his nonfiction book series based on Write Faster, Write Smarter. Number 3, Self-Publishing Formula. Hosted by James Blatch and Mark Dawson, Self-Publishing Formula is more a podcast than it is, say, a YouTube channel. But don't be confused. It's not like a podcast that you can't watch. You can actually watch it, and they actually screen capture everything. But if you find yourself pressed for time and say you don't have like the YouTube premium access and you can't just listen to the content, you can actually consume that over on, say, Apple Podcasts or other major podcasting platforms. This is probably my preferred way of consuming Self-Publishing Formula. I actually listen to them on Apple Podcasts on a regular basis. They have a deep back catalog of videos and podcasts that are worth listening to. Highly recommend you go take a look at that. Number 2, Kindlepreneur. Okay, so this name is synonymous with Kindlepreneur, and that's Dave Chesson. And you might know Dave Chesson because he's actually the innovator behind the self-publishing resource and tool that I almost always recommend all self-publishers get, the Publisher Rocket, formerly known as KDP Rocket. Dave actually gives you other things that you can utilize within your self-publishing business. And he's been around this space for quite a while. Now, he doesn't put too many video uploads, but when he does, it will grab your attention. In fact, recently he put out a video based on a comparison of, say, the Thinkific versus Teachable platform. You might be saying to yourself, but how is that applicable to me? Well, you're gonna have to go see for yourself why he would have a comparison video of a course creation platform for authors. Before we get into the #1 YouTube channel devoted to writing and self-publishing, I want to know, what are your favorite channels devoted to self-publishing? Drop them inside the comments. In fact, if you've got a link to the actual YouTube channel, please put it on in there, and if it gets stuck inside the spam filter, I'll push it through. I want to kind of give the opportunity to showcase other people. And speaking of showcasing other people, I have actually a few honorable mentions, and it's not that they were inferior to the ones that I have inside this list. It's just, unfortunately, I'm getting to know the channel, or they're pretty new. Sean Hibbs, Self-Publishing with Walter Weyburn, Simple Publishing University, and Self-Made Entrepreneurship channel hosted by Ahilan Chandran. #1, Author LevelUp. I've featured Michael Aron over on the other 2 best YouTube channels devoted to writing and self-publishing. But I'm gonna say that he has, for lack of better words, leveled up his game when it comes to Author LevelUp over on YouTube. It is just incredible. He took a small hiatus, and you'll have to actually go to his channel, hear the full story. It involves chickens and the space that he was recording at. It's nuts. In fact, I'll drop a link to that inside the description. You gotta hear about it. But he took a long hiatus, but when he came back fighting. And I'll tell you, the content is second to none. He is probably the most intelligent person I know within the self-publishing industry. And he doesn't just teach you about self-publishing, he teaches you about writing and also about mindset. There's so many things that Michael has dialed in on his content. It's just incredible. In fact, he's a guy that will put miniature blog posts in his community tab. So each day I get up, I'm greeted with a new inspirational, motivational post that gets me kind of going, oh yeah, get revved up and get pumped up. So he's not just doing videos on YouTube, he's providing insane value around his YouTube channel, and it even bleeds off over to areas like Twitter, over onto Facebook and beyond. You're just gonna be blown away by this guy. And he even actually has an Alexa flash briefing, for crying out loud, daily. It's shooting out. Go check it out. Michael Aron is definitely the #1 YouTube channel devoted to writing and self-publishing. And while we're talking about the best YouTube channels devoted to self-publishing and writing, why don't you take a look at the previous years right here in this video down below. I'll give you 4 details about some of the ones that I liked, and you might notice some of them I don't mention this year, and it's for good reason, because based on that criteria, you'll kind of understand why once when you get there. So I will see you there.